Hi, welcome back. My name is Sheena. If this is your first time coming to my channel, it's nice to have you here. So as promised in the intro video, we're going to be talking about the 7 pillars to discovering you, and we're going to be working through that course. So it's all in this binder, and this is what you get if you downloaded and ordered the course. But like I said, I'm going to be going through it with you on these videos in this series. So the first thing I want to say is pillar number 1 is recognizing that you need help. And in order to admit you need help is the biggest obstacle to overcome. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're tuning in with me. So in this workbook, there's 12 of them. And in this first one, we're going to be looking at pillar number 1. And it's going to take you through signs and symptoms that you need help, getting started. You're going to be uncovering 3 events from your past, releasing pain, and then there's coaching questions. So let's get right into it. Now, if you're in a relationship that's not healthy, that's toxic, and you feel stuck, these are some things that you might be experiencing. Perhaps you're tired all the time, you're hiding things from family and friends, you say things that are out of character, you don't speak up for yourself, perhaps. What else we've got here? You stop doing things you enjoy. You isolate yourself from people, from family and friends. So if you're experiencing any of those things, and there's a few more there, but if you're experiencing any of those things, those could be signs that you are in a relationship that's not good for you at this time. Another thing, too, that you need to be aware of is not being afraid to admit these things, because once you can admit that they're happening, then you're going to be ready and more open to beginning healing. And we talked in one video I made about trusting your intuition too. If you don't trust that, if you know something doesn't feel right in your relationship, but you don't make any changes or you aren't doing anything about it, that happens. And that's okay, but there's going to become a day when you have to realize that I'm experiencing all these signs and symptoms, and all these things are going on with me, and it's time for me to take that step, to be courageous, to take that step and to do something different, something about it that can move you in a direction away from hurting into a place of healing. Okay? So getting started in this workbook, you're going to be uncovering some events of the past, and healing is not easy. It's taking the time to invest in yourself. It's taking the time to be a little bit selfish and start to look at what's going on in your life and evaluating the things that you're experiencing in your life. The first, in the workbook, the way it's set up, there's event 1, 2, and 3, and what you're going to be doing is spending time in a place where it's quiet, and you're going to be honest with yourself and get as specific as possible and try to recall 1, 2, or 3 events that have happened to you that were painful, that hurt you, that brought you discomfort, that had you up all night, perhaps crying and feeling sad. And you're going to write all that out. You're going to let all those feelings out in the space here on the pages. And then after you do that, you're going to reflect with these questions. So if you don't have a pen or paper, pause the video, go grab one, and write down these questions. I'm just going to give them to you. The reflection questions for uncovering the events. Number 1 is, how did event 1 make you feel? Question 2 is, what thoughts do you have about yourself based on the event? Okay, what thoughts do you have about yourself based on the event? Question 3 is, what thoughts do you have about the person who hurt you? So go ahead and make sure you pause it, rewind it, tap the screen a couple times, and go back and write down these questions and then answer them. And you're going to do that for all 3 events. All right? So then moving on, after you do that for all the events, you're going to go to the next exercise, which is releasing the pain. So in that, you're going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and you're going to continuously write nonstop about any unhealthy relationship you are in now or that you currently experienced, and you're going to get all your feelings out. You're going to let all your emotions out, and you're not going to hold back. You're going to keep writing. Even if you don't have anything else to write, the point is, don't stop writing. Just write, my mind is blank, my mind is blank, until something else comes up. Any thought or feeling comes up and you begin to flow again. And in this way, you're releasing anything about the relationship that you never admitted before to yourself, that you've never wanted to say out loud. You're getting it all out on the paper. And when the timer goes off, you put the pen down, you take a deep breath, and then you're going to be repeating this exercise throughout the week of releasing the pain. And all that, again, is right there, so you don't have to, I don't know, maybe you can even see it and pause the screen and write it down. So, and set a goal. For this activity, you're going to want to set a goal for how many days out of the week, out of the 7, you can do this, because a big part of healing is committing to your healing process. So go ahead and set a goal for that. Embrace the journey and start discovering you. Okay, so the next thing in this workbook, after releasing the pain, and in here you have all the pages you need. I left you enough pages to go ahead and have enough for the week. After you do that, the next part of the book, there are some coaching questions. So again, get your pen ready to write these down. The first question is, was it hard for you to bring up memories? Why or why not? Question 2, coaching question, is, how do you feel now that you've released the pain? Question 3 is, what are your thoughts at this time about what you've experienced? Number 3, what are your thoughts at this time about what you experienced through your writing? And number 4, how do you feel that you've started your healing journey? So if you need to pause the video, go back, write these questions down, and they're all right here again. I don't know if you can see that. Holding it up there. So once you answer these questions, they're going to be hard, and take your time with them and really go through and answer them with thought, and give yourself time. Set aside time for yourself to go through this video and watch it as many times as you need to, because you want to start taking yourself seriously. You want to start forming a habit of loving yourself and spending time with yourself and working these questions through. And then the last page in this week's workbook for Pillar 1 is a reflection page where you just reflect on everything that came out in the 3 events that you uncovered and all the questions. So that's workbook number 1, guys. Remember, there's 7 pillars, but there's 12 workbooks. And that was workbook number 1 for Pillar 1. And that's what I've got for you. Like I said, watch this as many times as you need to, and be on the lookout for the next video, because we're going to be talking about pillar number 3. And pillar number 3 is going to be understanding what got you here. And that pillar is broken up into 3 different workbooks. And we're going to talk about the brain, the programming, and the thoughts. And I'll get as much as I can in that video for you as possible. So hoping this was helpful. Go ahead and like the video if you feel like it. I hope you did. And I will see you soon. All right, bye. Oh, remember, true healing always, always, always begins with self-love. True healing begins with self-love. All right, I will talk to you soon. Love you guys.